Greetings. This is Scholar on the Scene. What's current? J. Cole, he said he wishes that the song didn't go number one. He's wishing for his own lack of success. But does he have a point? Does he have a way of saying how it's different to say that you're number one, even though it was an alley oop, as in his words from Drake? Or it was an alley oop to Drake, maybe in a sense. Depending on whoever you think has the better bars. Uh, I think that it is, it harkens back to his previous effort, 2014 Forest Drive. He had zero features on this album, none. He had no guest appearances. So he was probably thinking about that time period, during the making of that number one album. And that's what I think goes through the minds of other artists, such as his mentor, the big homie, Jay-Z. Hove didn't get a number one, he didn't get a number one single until Empire State of Mind with Alicia Keys. Now, is that something that he weighs on his mind? I know he earned money from it. I know he earned accolades. I know that's a favorite song. I know that's a classic hit that rings bells. Will forever be cemented in the history of New York City. But does he say sometimes like, "Dang, I wonder if I could have done it by myself? If Alicia Keys wasn't on the record, could it just been myself and I would have gotten the number one spot?" Still questions like that. So that's what J. Cole is. I don't know if he's being facetious. He's probably being sincere because there's a level of truth in jest. So he probably put on his, ideas, put on his cap about whether he should continue to make music with other people, because he still, wishes that this song didn't go to number one. He says he almost wishes that first person shooter, excuse me, um, didn't go to the number one spot. He wanted that for himself. Is that selfish? Is that self-interested? Of course it is. Hip hop is a game of, rule and conquer, and be the best at your craft, and the best writer, the best performer, the best song, manipulator, the best everything, in your whole arsenal. You want to be the best at all times. And some people want to be better than other people, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that want to be the very best in their craft and their way of projecting themselves and their ideas. That's how it becomes, legendary, when you have that, thrust of talent on your side. That is key. That's what J. Cole has, and that's a joke too that goes around the internet. This internet means like, it's Friday night and we're not playing J. Cole's music. Like he's like a forever underdog. He's always gonna be looked at as the underdog, and like Drake is always gonna be looked at as the top dog. And so they came together, and they were able to perform a massive hit. If you haven't heard the song, you gotta hear it. It's a great song. But he flipped some vocal chords and different alliterative phrases and different. And Drake is nice on the song as well. They both make it worthwhile listen. But it just seems like it's just that nagging thing. He said he almost wishes, like, he just had to go number one. Like, if it wasn't number one, it probably wouldn't have hurt, or not hurt, but it probably wouldn't have been on his mind so much as if it had been maybe just in the top 10, top 20, top 40, something like that, and it would have been said, oh well, he charted, and he charted in the top 40, charted the top 20, charted top 10, but number one, that's like, damn, you wanted that for yourself. You wanted that for J. Cole wanted it all by himself. He wanted it all to his own credit, to his own making. That's just, the nature of the business. You have these pop stars just go straight to number one. You have even people that rap like Cardi B. And I remember Nicki Minaj. She was just struggling to get her first number one single. It took her to, I think, Freaky Girl was her first number one single. I think. I could be wrong. I'm gonna make sure real quick. What was Nicki Minaj? Oh no! I want Billboard Hot rap song. Okay, they're saying Your Love was number one, but that was on the raps charts. That was on the Hot Rap Songs chart. Billboard Hot 100. Say So. That was her first one. With a performer that was also a rapper, Doja Cat. In 2020, Nicki Minaj had that. Peaked at number one on the Hot 100. Okay, so I was right. Super Freaky Girl debuted at the top of the Billboard Hot 100, giving Nicki Minaj her first her Hot 100 number one single as an unaccompanied artist. See, that it took a little longer. So that was about 12 years before she had her first Billboard Hot 100 number one single. By herself, and it took let me see, about 2 years after the number one single with Doja Cat. So that's just one to grow on. That's just something that is just the nature of the game. You want it all for yourself in a sense. You do. That's the reason why she had it. Like, nah, you can't get on this track. You ain't getting on this track. I got this. Super Freaky Girls. I'm gonna flip it like I flipped the Anaconda, the Baby Got Backbeat. I'm gonna flip the Rick James Super Freak, and that's what's gonna happen. And J. Cole has the opportunity, of course, to still be number one. And later on, he can still pull out the cannon on people and be able to be very in time with the music. He still has much to go. He's a young guy, relatively. He's kind of old like me. I think he's what? Let me see how old he is. J. Cole is in his 30 something. Let's see. J. Cole. He's 38. Okay, so he's old. He's an old man. He's ancient. The man is ancient. He's got time off his side. He may get a number one single as an unaccompanied artist when he's in his 40s. That's looking like the reality of it. If he does get that coveted position, but until then, he'll be alone. Still trying to find the beat, trying to find the way he can rap on a song and still be himself and acknowledge the fact that there's going to be people that are going to want a feature with him, and he'll be and he'll be featured on other album cuts probably, and they'll make it to singles and maybe go number one again. But it's that little bit twisted, the blues kind of thing. It's a little bit of like you got the win, but could you not gotten the win without Drake? Is that what this mean? Does it mean that you're not getting the proper due? You're not getting what's right for you? You know what I mean? You're not getting all that exists in your life. Is that what it's telling me? I don't know. I read the article. Article was pretty well written. Let me see who is it by. Uh, Zachary Horvath wrote about the whole thing. Um, it eventually, it says from the article, quote, it eventually topped the Billboard Hot 100 after competing with another cut from the record, IDGAF with Yeat. And I'm way too old because I have no idea who Yeat is. So if anybody out there would tell me, please, who Yeat is, he's probably what, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Hopefully he's 18 years old. I'm going to talk about minors. I'm going to see. I'm going to look up Yeat. He is 23. Okay, he's an adult. Good. And he had this song called IDGAF, and we all know what that means. It's short slang for, those are initial, those are word letters that represent something that's graphic. I'm not going to repeat here. But yeah, J. Cole wants the top spot, but he wants it by himself. Almost. He said he almost wishes. He's glad that he and Drake have a good relationship, and it's been over a decade since they collaborated on a song. It's been over that long, so that's very interesting. It's interesting to see how these rappers are and they seem like prima donnas, and they seem like nothing phases them, and they're all collected in their mind space, but he may really have an issue with the fact that he was part of a collaboration instead of a solo act. That's the question that we all have, I think. I mean, Troy Star Terrain, Mr. Troy Star Terrain, has often said, he played the radio game. He said he had interviews with people, and he took people's phone calls and stuff like that. He still takes people's phone calls, but it wasn't about the interviews to him, and that took me a while, to be honest. I was like, wow, because he does really great interviews. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to hype him up. I'm just trying to say what's true. He does excellent interviews, and he gets under people's skin. He makes them say things that they wish they wouldn't, or admit to things, and it's just hilarious and insightful and everything in between. So now, like I said, he just takes phone calls, but I don't even take phone calls. I just look at the Cash Apps and the PayPal. That's all I do for right now. I'm not, looking forward to having a phone line or anything like that. I'm looking forward to being on anybody's radar, to be picked up, even for say, hey, why don't you do a show with some interviews with some live hosts, and we can have back and forth or something like that, interchange of ideas. No, that's okay. I like running this microphone and these screen by myself. I'm okay by myself. I'm all right. It's okay. So if anyone has a problem with what I do, it should be like J. Cole. J. Cole, has he's bona fide, certified, and qualified as a performer. I saw him live in, I think, 2014 or 2015. And he was on point. He didn't seem boring. He seemed like he was in the moment. He let out his other artists, and he gave a great show. I recommend you go see his live concerts. And this, I think, was before the Dreadhead, the Locks, I should say, not the Dreadhead. They take offense to that. The Locks. I think he had like a shorter hairstyle, I should say. But let me make 100% sure. He might have had. Let me see. I think we have. Depends on what he was wearing back then. Let me see. See, he's got tons. He got singles like "Workout," "Power Trip," "Cook It Smile," um, "For Your Eye." He has "Wet Dreams," and apparently "No Role Models," and "Love Yours." I think he just had like a short fro, like he was just growing out his dread. He was growing out his locks. He was just in the process of growing out his locks. But anyway, that's not very important. What's important is the fact that we have rappers, singers, artists, songwriters. Everybody wants, a piece of the pie. And if you have to share this, the last slice, it's like, all right, we'll share it, but it's not that serious. I'm not going to take it too much to heart. Like he said, he almost wishes because he knows he had bars on that song. He had strong bars. Let me see if I can pull up something that he said on there. Okay, so J. Cole, he says, quote, niggas so thirsty to put me in beef, just dissecting my words and starting looking too deep. I look at the tweets and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock because I love the mystique. I still want to get me a song with BG. Can't trust everything that you see on IG. Just know if I diss you, I make sure you know I hate you like I'm on your caller ID. He had bars. He goes on this later down the road. It says, quote, is it K Dot? Is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league. But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Huh. Yeah, huh. Yeah. Muhammad Ali. That's bingo. That's the ticket. We the big three, like we started a league, which is a reference to Ice Cube's big three organization. And he says, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. He feels like he's the great. You step on somebody's turf, you're allowed into their home, and then you say, "I'm still the greatest in here. I'm still the best." He said, "I feel like I'm Muhammad Ali." That's telling. He said that even in his song on Drake's record. He feels like he's the greatest out of the big three. And if you look at Billboard, they all came under, I think, the top 20, if not the top 10. I can't remember everybody, but Drake, I think, was like 5 or 6 or something like that, and Kendrick Lamar was number 2 on the greatest rappers according to Billboard, according to their research and their studies. Um, but that's telling. That's very speaks volumes about his character and what he really wanted to try to do, and what he really wanted to say. He is the best. He is the greatest out of all of Drake, J. Cole, and himself. And that's what you're supposed to do in hip hop. That's like the dude that comes up to you in the locker room or in jail or wherever the case may be, or in school or something like that, and asks you, "What size shoes you wear?" He says, "Yours, mother, bastard. What you gonna do about it? Why? Why do you ask?" Something like that. That's the attitude you have to have. You have to have the attitude of being the dominant person in every conversation, in every kind of venue, in every kind of situation. That's what you have to have. So I think that it is within the bounds of rationality to say that J. Cole is definitely up there with the three, the major three of the past 10 years, almost 12, 13 years, really, you know, since Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar all spawned from the womb of hip hop. They've had mixtapes in the interim, and other collaborations with other artists. But it's still top dog type, and that wasn't a pun, but excuse me if it sounds like one. That you still want to be the top dog, you still want to be the number one, contender, and have no other people under you. And it's a greedy business. It's greed. It's all about greed. You want to have you want to have the number one single by yourself. You want to have that single go for 30 weeks at the top of the Hot 100 singles chart. That's what you want. That's what you need to have. So it just takes on a different vibe. It takes on a different role. And what happens? It takes on a different kind of idealism. Because, like I said, MGM, that's what hip hop is. It's mysticism. Eminem, excuse me, not MGM. Eminem. Mysticism, narcissism, and mercantilism. Narcissism is at the forefront. The narcissism is what makes the other two not possible, but it keeps them together. If you're so caught up with yourself, you're so consumed in your own mystique, in your own ideas, in your own thoughts, that nobody can touch you. That's the kind of projection that is currently and has been for decades in hip hop since its inception 50 years ago, allegedly. It's been on that wavelength. It's been on that sense of saying being like, I'm the best, and you can't say that you're the best. I'm the best. I'm the greatest, and you don't have to be. Like, people have said that dozens of times, and they're not the best or the greatest. Look at Eli. I'm the best, man. I did it. Anybody remembers that? You're old as dust like me. You are so old. You are ancient. You are very, very old. But look that up online. Put Eli on the best and see what happens on YouTube. See what the search results are. And you'll probably die laughing the first time you watch it. It's hilarious. But the whole idea of being the alpha male, the supreme being, is deeply rooted within the African American culture. I mean, bluesmen were like that. We always forget. I'll say that we sometimes forget. We always forget about these bluesmen. They wore, designer clothes and knew how to play the guitar and had, women with them all the time and had a switchblade in their pocket or a pistol in their waist. And they talked with real smooth and had an air about them that said that they were the shit. They were, the best. And same thing with Jasmine and some rockers, it goes throughout the history, but especially hip hop. Hip hop like magnified all that, it blew it up. It said that, my ego is bigger, even though they have an egotistical way of approaching, not egoistical. That's very slight. It's just them missing a T, but it's a big difference between egotist and an egoist. And one big, factor in that is the way that people carry themselves with rationality, because egotism lacks reason. It doesn't have the rational basis that is needed. That's where the mysticism comes in hip hop. There's a belief in some being, some source beyond the bounds of reality, and it's a detriment to mental health, really. And I think J. Cole has even covered, some aspects of mental health and things of that nature in his songs. But he still has that, narcissistic drive that is ever present within the genre of hip hop. And he has that complete way of saying that he is not just to be taken lightly. He has to get his weight up. He has to show the fact that he is more of a statesman within the hip hop community than anything else. He is a great songwriter, great, rapper. He's right on beat. He's right on with the flows. He has the bars. He's one of the best. He's not the best. He's one of the best. But you don't say. That's what Drake says. Drake says it in a song. If I'm not the greatest, then I'm headed for it. Like, exactly. Like, that's the reason you have to, wake up in the morning and go into the studio and lay down tracks. You don't lay down tracks and say, "Well, I'm kind of good. I'm kind of great. Kind of all right. It's all right. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm mediocre. I'm just here." No, hip rappers are like, "Nah, I am the best, and I'm the greatest, and you're under me, and you're not gonna do better than me. Maybe we'll do a song together." Yeah, that's how we do it. Because people are contending to say it's really J. Cole's song over Drake. Because they're saying that J. Cole had better bars than Drake. That's something interesting. Matt asked a question. Who is in this live? Who is the one viewer? Put up a 1 if you are in this live, so I can see who you are and what your name is, and at least know that there's somebody else in here. I see one person in the viewership. I'm very curious. All right. So there's the like, and then there's no viewers. Great. So they said, "I'm here. I'm gonna give you a like." Now I'm here again. All right. So, all right. J. Cole definitely has his hands on the culture. He has his hands on hip hop still after all these years. What's going on? Almost 15 years, I think, something like that. 14 years since he dropped his first album. Let's see. Yeah, 15 years. Well, oh no. It was recorded in 15, right? Almost 16 years. But it came out in 2011, his debut. Cold World, the sideline story, by J. Cole. Came out in 2011. All right, so 12 years. All right, so that's just like anybody in sports, and that's another thing too. In sports, you can say we want to crush them, we want to demolish them, we want to run them into the ground, and you can say that. But a businessman, somebody like that, a CEO can't say, "I'm going to crush my competition. I'm going to make sure they wish they never were born. I'm going to eat their babies. I'm going to go so hard in the paint that they're going to, want mercy and beg for it on their knees." You can say that in sport. You can legitimately say it, and then you have to back it up. Can't just say it and be like, "Oh, well, I was just saying all that to hype myself up." No, you gotta back it up. You gotta be able to say you're gonna drop 60 points on somebody in a basketball game, or have the score be 50-0 in a football game, and hockey get a hat trick, and baseball hit a grand slam 3 times or something crazy like that. Like, but that's what J. Cole did. That's what he's saying. He wish he almost never let first person shooter be the number 1 spot. Now, I have a question. Are you happy with your placement in life? Are you happy? Are you glad? Are you taking time to reflect on your mental health? Are you taking time to reflect on your work? Are you taking time to reflect on your children or your spouse? What is it that makes you happy? Happy is a weird thing. It's a personal thing. It's a selfish thing. It's a thing that's ingrained and rooted in the fabric of this nation, America, United States. It's saying that you have the pursuit of happiness. You don't have a right. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's all you have. That's everything that is included. There's nothing else except that. So to be happy means that you are pursuing your values, that you're going after your highest values, that you have the capacity to work and to love and to create and to build a way of life that suits you best, that creates something that's within you that is completely helpful and undeniable, something that drives you, something that keeps you going. Is your lot in life drudgery, being under the whip, being under the gun, being always, rushing and rambling along? Do you have times and moments in your life where you can just sit back, look out over the ocean, form a lump in your throat, and just say, wow, and just think and just consider for a moment what's going on in your life? Is that part of your condition? Is that part of your way of dealing with the world? I, for one, have bipolar disorder. So I know what it's like to have anxiety. I know what it's like to have, times of racing thoughts and acting erratic. And the pills make me happy. Oh my God. No, I'm not going to make a commercial for the drugs I take, but I am on a cocktail of drugs that keep me stable, but doesn't make me happy. They call them happy pills. That's the slang term for the various pills. That's not the case. That's not the reality. The reality is that I have been able to realize that, with such a combination of drugs, I've been able to function. Like, I'm not able to function. I'm either depressed or manic. These drugs balance out both sides of the bipolar issue, the mania and the depression. It used to be called manic depression. Nowadays it's called bipolar disorder. There's bipolar 1, bipolar 2. I have bipolar 1. So, but just to get to the point of this, statement or this question, are you happy with your placement in life? I'm very happy with the placement in my life. There's always people say, oh, it could be worse, but it could be better. I'm looking forward to be better. I know it could be worse. I could be living under a bridge right now, pushing a shopping cart, or in a psychiatric ward that's by the state, not by the federal government, not by the VA, because the VA would be paying me if I was staying in there for over a month. That's a little something you didn't know, and if you might not have to know, but they pay you, the rate of a person who has a disability of 100%, which is usually like $3,500 to almost $4,000, tax free every month. So that's how serious it is. And let me ask again, who is in this live? Somebody check in, put a 1 up, something. There's 2 people in the live and nobody's saying anything. You're being real quiet. You're being church mouse right now. Right? What you hiding for? What you hiding for? All right. So 2 people in here. That's fine. So are you happy with your placement in life? Are you married with kids? I don't know. I plan on getting married when I'm 80. I wasn't going to have sex until I was 70. Blew through that. I only had one sexual partner. She was a good girl. She was sweet. She was smart. She was worth the time. But yeah. So wedding bells. Maybe when I'm 87, or not. It doesn't matter anyway. I'll be dead soon. It wouldn't matter a bit. I can be dead now. Who knows? This could be my last post. I don't know. Life is weird that way. That's what's so fascinating about life. That's what I don't understand about people who think, oh, I'm bored. There's devices and everything. You're bored. I don't think anybody can say that they're really legitimately bored nowadays. You can say that, you're passing time, you're trying to go over certain things that aren't necessarily fun, like your taxes or something crazy like that. But not to say that you're bored, and that's the thing that's weird with fun and happy. Just because you're having fun doesn't make you happy. Doesn't necessarily mean that. And same thing with relief. Just because you're relieved doesn't mean you're happy. Relief just means that the weight has been lifted from you, but you have to keep going on with your happiness. The weight's gone, but you got to keep rolling. So it takes time. It takes time to be happy. You have to have effort for happiness. You have to have effort for being part of the stream of different emotions and ideas that go into being a happier person. That's what it takes. That's what it all boils down to. It all makes sense in that way. It's a rational way of dealing with life. It's a rational way of understanding living. It's a rational way of expecting joy. You can't expect joy if you don't see it. All right, Keith is in the building. I thought I was gonna get some money out of here, but doesn't look like I'll be getting any money anytime soon. But salute to Keith. Keith is on the check-in. He's one of the 2 viewers allegedly that are in the live. Yeah, sup chat, sup everyone. Yeah, well, maybe you're the 3rd person. I don't know. It was showing 2 people for the longest time. Showed 1 person for a while. Now it's up to 3 people, but still waiting on that PayPal from you, Keith. Still waiting on at least $20 from you. Or else you have to thank Height and Chelsea with her glasses on, Spirit, Smooth Tunes, and Tone J. Exactly. Now he has the smiling faces. That's the thing is right there too. I guess people like to use the smiley faces and the laughing emoji to convey their emotions. I hate it. I like text. The only ones I like are the salute and the thumbs up. That's about it. I think it's the only ones I use too. Is a salute and a thumbs up. But yeah, so it doesn't look like I'll be getting any money off of this broadcast. We got broke niggas in the room, or allegedly broke niggas. They got money. Talking about on his Toshiba and his wife's Toshiba, and he's just using it. He's drinking coffee at the same time, and what time is it there? What the hell? Almost. Let's see, 3. Was it? All right, I'm gonna just see it. I think it's 11 though. Okay. Yeah, 3:55 a.m. It's 3:55 a.m. He's on the show. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, it says 3:50. He said 3:50 a.m. It's 3:55 a.m. and he's he's in my show, so I appreciate it. I don't know if he's getting any sleep. I don't know if he's this is this time that he comes in and he sleeps on the day. I don't know. It's his business, but I hope he's happy. Some people have to be happy to be, homosexual or bisexual or something like that. That makes them happy. That's your business. I don't. I'm a heterosexual male, heterosexual man. But if you want to be, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, plus, whatever the case may be, if they say that's a quote, live your truth. See, because I was reading a book, this I think it's called "This Will Be All Over Soon." Let me make sure this will. Yeah, this will all be over soon by Cecily Strong of SNL fame and Schmigadoon fame. Um, she wrote a book and said that she doesn't consider herself an ally of the LGBTQ plus uh, community. She's she's really just a human being. That's all she is. She's a human being in the struggle with LGBTQ plus. So I consider myself just a human being. I'm no longer an ally. Cause they should say that, oh, I'm an ally. I'm straight, but I'm an ally for y'all. If y'all want to do your thing, do your thing. If you want to, hop on a stick, or if you want to, look around for some lint, that's your business. That's something that you're on your own with. If you want to do that, do your thing. That's just another example of being happy. Because that's the thing, though. They have a struggle, and it's a mental thing. They used to call it a mental disorder to be LGBTQ. It used to be a mental disorder to be gay or lesbian or queer, or whatever you want to call it. It was on the books. They used to be in psychiatric wards. They used to be burned at the stake. They used to be all kinds of things. They're still being thrown off of buildings by whom? Palestine, Hamas. They don't like LGBTQ. I don't understand. It's cute. It's funny. All the leftists, all the champion LGBTQ. Woo woo. Let's have the parade and the wave the rainbow flag and all things. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Woo woo woo. Yeah. It's all happening. Let's get down. Then they get to Israel and Palestine. Oh, I'm down with Palestine. I'm down with Palestine. Yeah. Oh, really? The same people that throw people off of buildings because they're gay? You're for it now? I thought you were waving the rainbow flag and we're on the float with the guy with the gold boots and the angel wings. Yes. That Keith just said a fact. He said these days, Sky, abnormal is the new normal. Yes. Let me make that clear. LGBTQ plus is not immoral. I'm gonna say it again. It's not immoral. It's not unethical, but it is abnormal. It's not the same thing as being normal. So, good point. That was a really good point, Keith. So it takes a lot of weight off of you when you're able to live your life as whatever you want to be. If you want to be a woman, be a woman. If you want to be a man, be a man. And who am I to care what you chose to be? It's not my business. I'm not going to be sleeping with a man who became a woman or a woman who became a man or anything like that. Especially not a woman who became a man. I mean, either way, I'm not. So I have to disagree with you on that, Keith. There's still taboo. There's still taboo. Things that are very taboo. There's things that still on off the table. They're off limits. Certain things that are hardly even discussed, and if they are discussed, they're on different programs, different channels on YouTube, and they don't have the same weight. So somebody just came in the room, went from 2 to 3. Who is it? I'm looking for money. I'm accepting. All right, give me an example. Like what? Incest. Incest is a taboo that is still on the table. Even though you have people like geniuses like Darwin and Einstein who married their first cousins. And I think Einstein was she was his cousin both ways. Second cousin and his first cousin. People don't talk about that, but it's the facts. You can look it up. Charles Darwin and Albert Einstein both married their cousins. First cousin, too. It was the inbreeding. He wanted to study his idea of bioscience. Three of his children died and 3 others had no children was because they were somewhat inbred. No kidding. Let me see Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein. While he was still married with his first wife, his own cousin. His first cousin. And he cheated on her a lot, he says. So that's just something that's taboo. Even when somebody of great stature like Darwin and Einstein, it's the same kind of idea. Yeah. So there's that. Definitely something to consider. But I mean, if that made them happy. I mean, it's messy. It's messy, but that's the facts. It's just truth. That's why you don't have relationships with your cousin. You don't have, sexual relationship with your cousins unless you're running the risk. And that's the thing with abortion. Abortion would prevent a baby from entering the world and possibly having terrible health conditions or something like that. That would prevent all that. So if you have the idea of being someone who is stable and honest and rational in your life, or you're just by yourself, you can be by yourself. You can be by your goddamn self and be happy. That is a beauty that is wonderful. Just to be by yourself, all on your lonely, alone, but not lonely. On your lonely, but not lonely. That's being alone. If you can be alone with yourself, that is the best possible idea of happiness, I think, to myself. If you can spend time and company with your own being, then that is truly what it is. I said you missed me at the beginning, Keith. I said I am happy. The reason why I am happy is that I get a little boost from the quote unquote happy pills, the psychiatric drugs that I take that keep me balanced, my chemical levels balanced. And that lets me be happy. I'm in a happy position where I am It needs to be better. I want to have my own place. I want to have my own setup. I want to have a completely different setup, for these broadcasts and get more money. Because that's the thing. He said, "Oh, we were so happy poor, but then when we got rich, that's when things got crossed and we got flipped." That's who's that? Who said that? I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right. Jay-Z. Jay-Z said that on Song Crime. Okay, Hype. My man hiding in the wings. See, if I ask a question, he comes out of the woodworks. Salute. Look for $10. You're gonna be part of the November 50 Club. We had a saying we used to say back in Brockton, Massachusetts. There's a guy that said, "Speed that because I need that." Hold on. I didn't say it right. I gotta say it right. Hold on. Taking some time. Need that hype. It's so important. I'm not getting any money from Keith. He's the only one in this chat room besides you, hype. You're the only one I can trust with $10. So speed that because I need that. I'm going as far as the percentage will take me. So I need that $10. Real smooth, real smooth, real smooth. So, for happiness, you have to have your own sense of self. You have to be selfish. That's the only path to happiness, is selfishness. Not degrading other people, not denigrating other people, and not altruism. Altruism doesn't mean helping people or being kind to people, being nice to people. It means denigrating yourself. It means lowering yourself. It means sacrificing yourself to make sure someone else's life is better. You make someone else's life better without sacrificing yourself. It's possible. It's very so. Altruism is. I always think about Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a horrible, miserable person that everybody thinks is the ideal for morality. Everybody thinks is the greatest thought. Oh my God, she helped so many people. Hardly. What she did was she made people just enough, healthy to get by, never to excel, never to, be thriving and flourishing, just to get by with enough life. The same thing with her. She didn't really indulge in the great parts of living. Her journals and her diaries are filled with, scribblings about how life is hard and harsh and terrible, and this is the worst things that can happen to me. But she always said there was a higher calling, there was a higher deal, that above her, that allowed her to break into whatever she wanted to do, and that was to keep people just within shot of death, without crossing over. Little children, grown people, they all had that mentality. She had that mentality. Keep them just alive, just long enough for me to say something, over them. So say a prayer over them or something like that. And they're like, oh my God, he's doing better, but he's not doing great. You see, she's a lot better now. She's a lot less sick. Yeah, less sick, not sick, not sick, but less sick. That's how disturbing we are as a culture. We uphold these different virtues or these different values as sacrosanct, as holy. We uphold the idea of being uh, you know so clear cut and so rational in our minds. Okay, now Keith is going deeper, and I got time because I want to see how far I can go with people chiming in. Keith, here we go. Sit back and listen, sir. Okay, Jesus fed 5,000 with two fish and 5 loaves of bread. How is that a miracle? Why is that even considered a miracle? He made lunch. Nigga made lunch. Like, he turned water into wine. Okay, so he's great for parties. Like, I don't understand how these things can be miracles. Like, what is the? It's a weird superpower to have. A miracle. He's great at catering. I don't. What do you want? Like, how are these miracles? What is that about? Please explain to me how that is a miracle. You fed 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves. All right, that's your point. Okay, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. He's great for lunch. He's great for catering. He's great for dinner parties. I don't see how those are miracles. No, that's totally different. That's a totally different case. Y'all, Keith, thank your lucky stars. Height, I'm not going to say to you because you're giving out money. But Tone J just came through. He says, keep your head up and keep it pushing. That's my nigga for life. He's real deal. He's about to join the club, by the way. He only has, I think, 2 more, or at least 1 more to go. I'm talking. Let me speak on this for a little bit. It's going to 6:06. I'm happy, but I'd be happier with a woman. I said that before, because I just they're so amazing. I grew up around women, beautiful, intelligent women, black women. That's all I know, and I have a great father that grounded me to be in a heterosexual way, so I didn't fall into the trap of being uh, gay or anything like that. Not saying it's a trap, but I'm saying from a heterosexual way. I'm saying I didn't fall into any homosexual acts or anything like that. But I grew up around girls and young ladies, young women, and they just have a totally different way of understanding. Hold on. So I'm trying to get this. Oh, here we go. Oh, see, old D M from Newick is saying some spicy stuff right now while I'm speaking. You have $20. Put $50 up, and uh, All right, so I was saying with women. Women are, so great, so wonderful. They're just beautiful creatures. They're just because they have the whole biological system going on and how their mind works. It's totally different from men. They have a different level of understanding than men. They're faster usually than men. I'm talking about intellectually. They usually have a firmer grasp on reality than men. Men are more pragmatic. If it works, then it's good. If it's good, it works. Like they're really practical and stuff like that. Men, but women are more thoughtful, more free in their minds. Not to say that other men aren't free in their minds or that men can't be, you know, uh, really like women. I'm just giving you an example, from my life. When I was with women, my past girlfriends, we had fallen outs, we had arguments and stuff like that. It depends. Keith is asking, Scott, do you love or like women? I like and love women, and I respect women. That's even better. If you respect a woman, you have definitely achieved something that most people will not be able to achieve. That's facts. That's a reality. So that's the truth behind all of that. So it would behoove me to say that women are so great. Like I said, out of 10 grandkids, my grandmother and my grandfather, they had 10, they had 7 girls and 3 boys. So I was the first boy to be born. I grew up with, it would be I was 6 years old before my brother came along. And it would be another few years to my other cousin came along. Capers with the question. Capers got a question. If you send in $20, I will answer your question. Capers. I never heard of Capers before. I think you're a new viewer. Welcome to the party. But if you want it, you got to put a dollar sign on questions. Only people, and Keith knows this. I've been letting him go by because it's past the hour. But if you want your question answered, there's PayPal and Cash App. I'll send them down to you. Hold on. We can get this party started. Get it started right. Well, we'll get this like second half of this party started right anyway. We've already been popping for over an hour now. But I'm feeling good. Tone J dropped off a little 20 piece. That's what I'm talking about. It's the fourth quarter, y'all. It's November. It's about to be holiday season. People are, hustling and scamming and striving to get that dollar. That's all that means. People are, I'm talking to this girl right now. She's talking about some like, oh, if you give me gas money, then I'll come and get. I'm like, you know what, bitch? Seriously, I didn't call her bitch, but I'm just saying, like, she's trying to scam. I think I'm pretty sure. I know she's trying to scam because that's obvious. Like, I send her money, and then she takes the money and just doesn't even show up. Doesn't have anything, and I'm supposed to pay for her gas when I know she has money for the repairs, the maintenance, all the insurance, the car note, all that has to be paid for. So I know she's full of shit, and I've been playing her for the whole time. I said, you know what? If you want to get money, start a YouTube page, start a YouTube channel. Ask for donations. Just be honest with the folks. Just be honest with the people. Don't lie, and let them know, and have a good time. And have great inflection. Have a great topics to discuss. If you guys want to talk about J. Cole, we can talk about J. Cole. We can talk about happiness. I love that Kid Cudi song. I'm on the pursuit of happiness, and I know that was my cut for a while. That was my jam. I love that song. Song was the truth. I'm gonna give Capers a good 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It's gonna be at 108. If he doesn't say anything at 108, if he doesn't say anything about $20, then I'll just have to pass on his question. I would love to answer it because a lot of you know the answer to it already. If whoever was in here and who was in the chat before, so I'm just in the pursuit of happiness, unhappiness of happiness. We're not guaranteed happiness. That's what you're guaranteed life. If somebody affects you or tries to take your life, then they could be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Liberty. You should be able to be free from all constraints and everyone around you. Yeah, Harambe. I always say Harambe. I'm talking about Rick James now. But he says, "Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy." I mean that. I mean that song, was a #1 jam. But damn, if I sing it right here, you can slap me right here. That's what Chuck D said. And I mean, I think about Pharrell's song, Because I'm Happy. Very upbeat, very uplifting kind of song. That was a #1. I think that was #1 jam for a few weeks. #1, on the Billboard Hot 100. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me make 100% sure. Yes, it hit #1. It was a #1 smash. Because Americans are happy, even though we go through bullshit, even though we go through turmoil and struggle and we fight over everything and everything is divided. This is a weird thing. This is a weird way we're in, because I think we're either being more divided or we're being more united by these wars. That's the sick and twisted part about wars. In Ukraine and Israel, Hamas's war on Israel and Russia's war on Ukraine. It's a weird thing. It's like when we go in, we're like, whoa, yeah, let's go to war, let's fight, let's do it. We're all hyped up and everything like that. And then when we come back with all the casualties, we're like, oh god damn it, I lost my best friend. Like, it's a weird space that human beings are in. Weird space. And especially Americans. We try to be, I don't know about Keith. Are you an American citizen who happens to live in Japan? Is that true, Keith? Let me know. Were you born in America, or were you born on American soil? Interesting but true. But let me know. Let me know, Keith. Were you born in America or in America? Okay, you were born in America. Okay, great. So I mean, I think we're all Americans here. Some of us, I don't know about Capers. Capers went away. I'm not answering your question. $20 has to be attached to each question now. I'm not playing around. I got kids to feed. Who said that? He either said I got mouths to feed, or I said I got kids to feed. I think he said I got kids to feed. But yeah, so I'm like going back to the story. Like I said, I grew up with girls, young women, young ladies, and they all turned out well. They didn't turn out to be addicts or anything like that. They actually turned out to be business owners and teachers and financial people. I'm Black American, born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay. born and raised. All right, Keith, I got you. Good to go. All right, so the girls, the women, the females. I mean, they just make life better. I mean, could you imagine if life? I don't understand MGTOW, men going their own way. I just don't get it. For me, I don't understand. How can you live life without women? Just, not even sexual. You don't have to be in a sexual relationship. I have a stepmom. You know, we're not testing any taboo levels there. She's never had any advances from me. I never stepped to her or anything like that. Nothing crazy or weird. Nothing like that. And we have a great relationship. We talk. We have jokes between each other, and it's funny. And MGTOW, from what I understand, is they just have no relationship with women whatsoever. Like men going their own way. I don't get that. I can't see. What are there? How many women are in the world? It's like 5 billion, something like that, or something like that. I think it's that, and there's 3 billion men, or something. It's some weird statistic like that. I'm gonna look it up. I got time. I'm waiting till my percentage goes out. Number of women. 3.95 billion women are in the world. So that's a lot. And I don't know who, calculates and says, well, she's a transgender, so transgender women have to be calculated and accompanied for accounted for too. So maybe that, maybe whatever. They're women now. I'll give them credit for that now. People have walked into the building. They're shuffling on the floor. They're taking off their coat. Who's in here? I have 4 viewers. I know Keith is responding. Capers had a question I would love to answer, but he doesn't have any money for me to answer. And this weird guy, I can't. He's a weirdo. I can't even go any further. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, damn, from Newark. Whatever that means. But you can still chip in. It's not impossible. Accepting 20s. Yeah, so they're just they're better looking. They smell nicer usually. They have an intellect about them that most men, like what they say, what she said, or I'll let her do the talking or something like that. So women have a capacity for being more outgoing. For usually there's also shy women, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can be shy if you like. It shouldn't be, in a sense that you don't have to be. You don't have to be shy, but you just if you happen to be, then that's your nature. But yeah. So if you are something like a person who is very outgoing, gregarious, you have the opportunity to be very, personable and out there and let people know who you are. That's what most women are like. Most women are very, daring and very, quick with the mouth, black, white, red, yellow, brown, doesn't matter. They'll go off on you. I gave barking rights to one of my girlfriends. She laid me out. I didn't say a word. I let her she didn't cuss me out. She was a strong Christian. I mean, we were laying on the couch together. She was like, don't put your hands in anywhere, around me or anything like that. Just keep them right there together. I was like, all right, respected her wishes. Didn't try to, make any moves or anything like that. But the woman I was with before then, she would have been like, hey, let's go at it. She had a kid. She wasn't married. Right now, her child, I knew him when he was like 3 years old. That man is like 15, 18 years old right now. Seriously. That's how fast life goes by. Life goes by quick. People say life is short. No, life is long. It just goes by fast. That's the facts. So with women, like my other girlfriend, she, was my first sexual experience. And we had good times. Very good times. I mean, it was like supposed to happen. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in, luck or chance or whatever the case may be, or wishes or everything. But she was from she was from, a borough in New York. And she had a way about her. I brought up, a rock band, and her eyes lit up like that. And she wasn't expecting me to say that. It was a rock band from her borough, and she just continued on with it. We hit it off. We went to sushi restaurants. We went to August Wilson's play, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We went to the Boston Symphony Orchestra. I paid for all this, not because I'm a simp or because of anything like that, because it was my idea. If it's my idea, I pay for it. I didn't pay for a cup of coffee from her. She paid for the cup of coffee because that wasn't my idea. She wanted to get a cup of coffee. I said, "Oh, okay, do what you gotta do." But I wouldn't pay for even a cup of coffee for her because it wasn't my idea. This is my system. I could be wrong. You could look at me like a simp all you want. I'm not a simp. I know the differences between what people are saying, what people are thinking in their lives, and I go with it. That's the flow that I'm in. I'm in that flow. That's what I'm talking about. So that was my last girlfriend, and that was what 11 years ago. 11 years ago. That was my last girlfriend, and that's the thing. I can go without a woman, but I can't go without money. I can go without, the coochie, but I can't go without the coin. I want the coochie. I'm looking for it, but I want the total pack. I don't want just a lazy, broke bum, sniffling broad, and that can't get no money to be dragging around. You don't have no clue on what to do. That's not what I want. I want the fact that she is somebody that's of substance, because I am the ultimate man. She said that. She even said to me, "You're intriguing." I said, "No, I'm the ultimate man." I had to say it real quick because I gave her, time and effort and my mind and knowledge and science and thought, all of that, philosophy. I gave her all of that. I gave her every piece of that. Richie Rich, everybody's laughing. I don't know what the laughs about. See, that's why I hate emojis. I don't know. Rich, you donated money. Feel free. Donate. Thanks. Rich, this is going way back. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm going way back. He hasn't been on the show since. Let me see. I can go back. I can go back, y'all. Y'all don't think I'm playing. Y'all think I'm playing. Richie Rich on June 7th At 9:14, Greg ass in the building. Goddamn. So glad I got my money before all these broke bum niggas came through. Alleged broke bum niggas. I know y'all got money. Y'all just don't want to give it to me. That's fine though. You will have to see that when you meet your maker. And he says, "Did you donate to Skylar Saunders at all?" And you say, "No." Then he says, "Well, go to hell." No, of course, no mystical fantasy land known as heaven or hell. Damn it, I missed the E. God damn it. Gotta change this up now. See if you are rich, Richie. Richie Rich. You gave me $3 the last time. Y'all only have a few more minutes in this, and I'm out of here. I got my money. Tone J. Y'all better think Lucky Stars. Think Tone J being a man of substance, of character, and greatness. So yeah, if you want, I'll donate once you come out as Dominican. Greg asked, sometimes I'll let you, I'll let you rock because you have some humorous stuff to say. He says, I'll donate once you come out as Dominican. I don't know what makes you Dominican. Is the hat? Is the tie and the shirt? Does my face look like I'm Dominican? I don't. United States of America, FBA, Foundational Black American, born in Dover, Delaware, 1988. Okay? That's the truth. That's the reality of it all. Not Dominican. No, I don't really don't have any Hispanic people or Caribbean people in my family that I know of. There's nobody. Everybody's FBA that I know of. Everybody's from the United States of America and foundational Black Americans. Y'all got 3 percentage points left. Then I gotta get out of here. But Tone J, real nigga, true nigga. He only has $10 to go to be a part of the November 50 Club. All right, Richie, you've donated before. If you want that question answered, I'm gonna need $20. $20, and I'll happily answer your question, and I'll give a lot of information beyond that. Trust me. I'll be happy to answer your question, but I need dollar signs attached to the question. I'm looking at my Cash App right now. In case you missed it, here it is right here. In case you can't remember it, here it is right here. So women, they're great. They make me happy. I haven't had a woman in 11 years, but still, I engage with them. I talk to them on virtually. I've been with women, through Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, but not in physical contact, which is way more intimate. How about that? Interesting. No, but that is interesting though. That is interesting. It's I find happiness with this. What I'm doing right now. I'm getting paid $20 an hour is not bad for hours worth of work. A little over hours worth of work. Me just sitting here running my mouth and people giving me money. I don't see what's the. How can you not be happy? Greg S. Now you know better. You know a lot better. I'm gonna need $20 attached to your question. $20. This is November. This is the 2nd of November. This is the fourth quarter. People are trying to get their weight up, trying to get, ribs is touching. People scraping plates, ain't got nothing on them. I'm gonna need that 20 piece. You be your first official donation. Rick James comes through. You are early, sir. Yeah, I know I'm early. Yeah, but you're late. How about that? Salute anyway. Yeah, it better be a salute. What's going on, Rick James? Thanks for stopping by. You got less than 1% left to go. Then I gotta get the hell out of here. I say 2 things and I'm out. If this MacBook shuts down, now I'm be pissed off. It's cool with James, but if you come in on the 2:00 streams, you get better because I get money during the 2:00 streams from Tone J. He is a real person. He is a true person. He is about his business. He looks out for me. Hey, then you don't get your question answered, Greg ass. Tone J, not J Tone. Tone J. Tone J. One day late and a dollar short as usual, James. Salute to Chef Key. All right, they're about to do their fight. Hey, I'm out of here. Got my money. Trying to teach these kids, hey, start a YouTube stream. I remember I was writing, right? I made $20 in a month. I thought I was like, wow, I get to get paid for what I like to do. But it was more than that because I got, thousands of dollars for entering challenges. But I haven't yet won a challenge in years. I appreciate everybody that came through. Thank you very much for Tone J for $20. For all you alleged broke bum niggas, thank your lucky stars for Tone J. He's one of the real ones, and I appreciate all of his donations. I thank you very much. I will probably see you later on tomorrow. So you all take care. Thank you very much. I'm out.